Good morning. Today's day 20 of our 30-day challenge, and today we're going to be doing more of a Hatha style practice. So we won't be flowing between our asana, we will just go from one to the other, and that will be requiring longer holds and perfecting the pose and learning to sink down into the pose and feel comfort in the body. And reprogramming how we feel about any aches, and change it to sensation and learn how to breathe into the body. It's all about the breath. And we're going to work a lot with our hips closed today after yesterday's shoulder and hip openers, because we want to counteract and we want to balance and bring harmony to your body. So if you like the video, like it. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so let's lie down on your mat or your sofa or your bed. We're doing these longer breath holds, so it's important to be really comfortable. Round 1, 30 big in-breaths. Belly, chest, head, let it go. The least amount of tension you can hold in the body whilst doing this process, the better. And the easier you will find the breath holds, as when you're storing tension or you're holding onto muscles or gripping on, the gas exchange will be quicker between the oxygen and the carbon dioxide as the carbon dioxide values restore to their normal rate. So the idea is that we completely relax down the body, and so the oxygen isn't uptaken as quick, and therefore the body feels that it has all the oxygen it requires without using the lungs. 10 more. This is round 1. Breathing in and out through the nose or the mouth, it doesn't matter. Whichever one makes you feel the most benefit from. Everybody's different. Some days you might prefer one and then the other. Last 5. Make these huge into the belly, into the chest, and then take that extra sip of air into the head. That extra sip of air into the head is the one that really gets you. Last breath in, let it all out, close down the eyes, and this is a 1.5 minute breath hold. If you do would like to hold your breath for longer, I will cue you up as usual at 10 seconds to go. And if you need to take a breath before, that's absolutely fine. Take your recovery breath, hold it for 15 seconds, and then rejoin and start your breathing again. So really try to focus on the sensations in the body during these breath holds. It's very easy to get caught up with the timing of these if you're not careful. So I partly in the mornings when I do this process, I don't really worry too much about time. I just let my body naturally tell me what it wants to do. We've got 30 seconds left. What I really want you to get caught up with is the feelings, the sensations, and the sort of exquisite 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fill the air, put a recovery breath in, hold it, force it upwards, pull up through the root lock, the stomach lock, the throat lock, force this air up into the brain. Hold it. And release. Well done. Round 2. 35 big belly in-breaths. Belly, chest, head, let it go. In and out. No pause at the top and no pause at the bottom. We're taking circular breaths. Yeah, so during our breath holds, I really want you to focus on the exquisite feelings and the way the breath and oxygen slowly integrate back into your body and restore the sensations of tingling back to homeostasis. It's a really good opportunity to witness firsthand how well your body works. It's a beautiful way to obviously reconfigure all of your major body systems, but you can, through this process, watch homeostasis occur, and that is a gift. So keep going, breathing in and out through the mouth or the nose. You've got 10 left. You're doing really well. Imagine you're breathing in total relaxation, and when you breathe out, you release any stress or tension. Got 5 more. Okay, this is our last one. Big belly breath in. Release all of that air. We're going to try and, if you can, do a breath out, breath hold. That's awesome. We try and release all of the air from the lungs. And if you find that tricky, then you can hold back a sip of air. And as you feel that carbon dioxide trigger switching up, then you can release a little bit more of that air through the nose gently. Make sure you keep a little bit of pressure on the back of the nose. So you can either pinch your nose shut. I don't do that. I don't personally find it very relaxing to do that because it's using tension. What I do to keep oxygen seeping into my nose is just keep a little bit of pressure at the back of my nose, the nasal cavity, and that seems to work really well. I've been doing that for over 2 years and feel that for me is personally my method. But as ever, this is your practice. You have shown up for yourself today. So I'm reading a book by the author Jim Quick, who is quite a brilliant man, and he says that every step you take in a positive direction, got 30 seconds left, is potentially going to change your destination to something better and bigger. So with that in mind, every time you do something positive like the Wim Hof breathing for yourself and show up, you are changing potentially the course of your life. That is truly exciting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recovery breath in. Hold it. Force it upwards. Imagine we are using this breath to decalcify and ignite the pineal gland and to create a hormetic response in the pituitary. Really getting into the deepest sections of the brain. And then release. Okay, round 3. We're going for 40 big breaths this time, because the breath hold will be 2.5 minutes. Let me know how you're getting on with the breath holds and the showers. I really am. I really do love your feedback with that. So keep going, breathing in and out, in and out. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Really imagine you are forcing that diaphragm open. You are filling your lungs to their maximum capacity and then just pushing that extra sip of air up into the head. In and out, circular breaths. Keep going, you're doing really well. Really focus on the sensations and intensify. So, with our practice today, I really want you to focus on the sensations in the muscles, and for the same way we do with the breathing, got 10 left, is to really intensify by sending the breath there. So if you're having tingly feet or tingly head, imagine you're sending more breath there to increase that sensation. Okay, we've got 2 left. Big belly breath in and release. This is 2.5 minutes. So really, really relax. Let go of tension. Let go inside. You've got nowhere else to be. Just enjoy the intensity of the sensations as your body is restoring homeostasis. Feel into the feet, any tingling or pins and needles, up through the ankles. Feel into the knees, the thighs, the pelvis. Notice any sensations in your stomach, into the heart. Find your heartbeat. Feel it and imagine you can hear it. Watch the rhythm and see if you can slow it down. Focus on the rhythm, slow it down. And then come up into the throat and the head. Feel the sensations in the head, any noises behind the ears. With 20 seconds left, so close, let's keep going. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recovery breath in. Hold it. Force. This is the last one. So really push up now through that root lock, stomach lock and throat lock. Forcing this air, beautiful oxygenated air into the brain. And let go. Excellent. And completes the breathing. So just come back to beautiful natural nasal breathing. With yoga, we're always going to be observing the breath, so it's conscious breath. But let's breathe in and out through the nose, really, really occupying the space of health. Take hold of your knees, squeeze them to the chest, and just rock from side to side. Just getting some blood flow back to the back. And find movement. We'll just do some gentle warm-ups. If you can rock and roll on the spine, onto the shoulders, up to the bottom, onto the shoulders. Just getting that lymphatic system moving. Bringing some energy into the practice. Okay, now come to staff pose. So knees, feet turned up. Sit up straight through the spine. And then just fold over those feet. If you can't reach the feet, it's fine. Put the hands to where you can, the thighs, the knees, the ankles, or you could take a strap. But we're just taking this gentle forward fold. Just getting that beautiful stretch in the glutes and the back and down the hamstrings. Really firing up that back body. Don't pull with the shoulders have got no weight in. Just folding over. Come up to sitting, and then come to all fours. We're going to thread the needle, So raise the right arm high up to the ceiling or the sky. Look up to that hand. And then we're going to fold it beneath the left. And we're going to come onto the right shoulder and the right cheek and stretch out that left arm. So we're getting a beautiful twist in the spine and a compression in the shoulder. So we're going to very much work with the hips closed and the shoulders closed today to counteract the work we did yesterday. Okay, come up, raise that right hand up to the sky and bring it back to the mat. Let's take it on the left, raise the left hand high and then post that hand beneath the right, come onto the left cheek, the left shoulder, take the right arm long along the mat, so we're getting this twist and compression. And breathe. Keep breathing. As you breathe out and the sensations become less intense, then you can just take the pose a little more, and I'm talking millimeters, so you just get a slightly more in the back bend. Your cheek wiggles slightly further onto the mat. Excellent. Come back, raise that left hand high, look up to the fingers, and then fold back into a wide-legged child's pose. Toes to touch, knees apart, stretch out those arms, bring the head to the mat and just breathe. Again, getting a lovely stretch into those glutes. The glutes are often are problematic for our hips and lower back. And by stretching them out, we can cure a lot of those issues. Okay, come up to standing. We're going to take a warrior one. So, left leg faces the front of the mat, right foot turns in at 30 degrees, and this is closed hips. So the hips both face the front of the room. And I want you to pull up through the core, knit in the ribs, shoulders away from the ears, but raise the arms and internally rotate so your pinkies are towards each other. Sink into that front knee, but keep even weight through the back leg too, so everything is working. And as you are breathing slowly in and out through the nose, sink a little more into the pose. So where you're feeling sensations of muscle use, breathe into it, like we do with the Wim Hof breathing sensations. Send the oxygen there. And let the oxygen just give you that space to find the pose a little more. Find something to gaze at straight ahead. Always helps with the balance. Okay, now straighten out that front leg. You may need to bring your foot in, back foot in a footstep, but keep it at 30. And then lean over. This is pyramid pose. We're going to find a flat back to start with, as we would with halfway lift. The hips are closed with this again. This is still not a hip opener. And then fold over that front knee. If you struggle with this, you can keep a tiny micro bend in that front knee. And no weight in those shoulders, no weight in the head. It's literally folding over with gravity towards the knee. Keeping that back heel firmly rooted to the floor. And just feel, and just turned in slightly so the hips stay closed. And breathe. It's quite intense. Just breathe into it. Right, turn up that back heel. And we're going to bring the back knee to the floor. We're going to come into crescent pose. So without taking that front knee over the toes, raise up the arms above the head and use your core strength to knit in the ribs and pull up to keep a beautiful straight line through the body. Again, shoulders internally rotated and away from the ears. Head and neck are in line in this pose. Everything should be working here. Keep breathing. And just make sure those knees don't tip over the toes, so we're not stressing your knee joints. Okay, bring the hands to the mat, and then we're going to sit back into a half split. Now you can either do that upright like this, Or I prefer to sit back onto my heel, actually sit on the heel. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's great for working out the ganglia of nerves on the back of the legs. And then fold over that left leg. Now you can either take the hands to the feet or anywhere on the leg, or take a strap. And no weight in that body, remember, you're folding over like a blanket over a bed. It's ideal if you have any sciatic issues or nerve pains down the backs of the legs to take this expression of half splits, because by that little massage you get with the heel into the bottom, it's really, really good at working out that any muscle aches in that part of the body. Okay, step forward, and we're going to step up into a standing splits. Now, it's tempting here to open the hips out so you can get more reach, but don't. This is, again, hips are closed. Now you can either keep both hands on the floor, working the head towards the knee, or you can take a half bind and hold on to the back of the leg and bring the head towards the knee. Whichever you feel comfortable with and whichever is in your practice. To start with, both hands on the floor may help your balance. Okay, and we're going to bring that leg through without bringing it to the floor, and come into staff pose. Raise the arms high, internally rotate the shoulders. And what I'd like to do, you can keep your leg bent in the staff pose, but ideally let's straighten it out and just get some strength building. Try not to lean back into the pose, pulling up straight through the core to find the strength. Excellent. And now we're coming to tree. So let's work on that balance and core strength. So you can either bring the foot to the ankle, below the knee, above the knee, or into the thigh. If you have it in your practice, then bring it into a half lotus, so into the thigh, into your groin crease. Only do this if it's in your practice. If not, take a normal tree pose. I just want to give you some options for those of you that are more advanced, so the practice can work for all of you. Okay, bring the hands back, and we're going to do all of that on the other side. So this time, the left foot steps back, turns in at 30 degrees, and the right foot faces the front of the mat. We're on tram tracks here, not in the legs aren't in line. There's a gap between them. Hips facing the front of the room, knitting the ribs, pull up through the body, pull up through the core, and bend into that front knee. Internally rotate the shoulders, keeping them away from the ears, and just breathe. Breathe into the pose. And the more you breathe and feel the experience of sensations, then you just release a little bit more into the pose. Make sure everything is working there. We really want this to be a full body expression. Keep breathing and keep focusing. Keep sending the breath to where the aches. Okay, and I'm going to straighten out that front leg. Step your back foot in half a footstep to make it easier. Hips are straight, facing the front of the room, and find your flat back by bringing the fingers to either to the floor or to your ankle. Remember not to put them on your knee, or you could bring them to a block. And then breathe out and fold over that front knee. Again, there should be even weight and work in both legs here. It will feel more intense in that front leg, but the back leg is active and working. And if you do need to keep a little micro bend in that front leg, that's fine. Keep breathing and focusing on the sensations, and send the breath to them, the areas that are working. And remember, there's no weight in that head and shoulders. Okay, turn up the back heel. We're going to come to our crescent pose. So back knee comes to the floor. Bend into that front knee, but without going over the toes. Knit in the ribs, pull up through the core, internally rotate and raise the arms, and keep those shoulders away from the ears. You're doing really well. Keep going. Breathe into the sensations. Okay, bring the hands back to the mat. We're going to come back into that half split. Again, if you took it this way, upright, and the other way, that's fine. Or if, like me, you like to get that little workout in the bottom, then sit back onto the heel. Make sure the heel is sticking into the thigh. It is mildly uncomfortable, but it feels great after. And it also helps improve your balance, I find, this version of half splits. But it's your practice. Do it how you'd like to do. Remember, we've got no weight in the head and there's no weight in the shoulders. The body is folding like a blanket over a bed. The work is all in the leg here. Okay, step forward and we're going to hop straight onto that right foot and come into the half splits. Again, keeping the hips closed. So we're raising that leg to where we can, but without opening out the hip. Now you can either have both hands on the floor or take the bind with the right hand around the right leg. Gently bringing the nose to the knee. But just go to where you can comfortably and without losing the balance, because obviously this is also an inversion and I don't want you to feel dizzy or discombobulated. So just keep the hands on the floor if you're feeling that may occur. Okay, without bringing the leg down, bring it 3. And we're going to come into that staff pose. Again, you can do this with a bent leg, but let's try and get some strength building here and straighten out that front leg. Trying to keep the legs at 90 degrees away from each other. Using the core as strength. Really pull up for the thighs. You're doing really well. Okay, now we're going to come into tree pose again. So remember, you can either come to your ankle or the knee, just below the knee, just above the knee, or into the thigh. And if it's in your practice, then let's bring the foot into the groin crease and hold it in a half lotus. Just do what's in your practice though. Find your point of focus, internally rotate the fingers, the shoulders, and keep those shoulders away from the ears. I am going to keep saying that, and I know it's probably annoying, but I don't want you to hunch up the shoulders and create stress and tension, because that will detract from the practice. After we've really loosened off those shoulders yesterday, I don't want to undo all the good work we've done. Okay, come down to the mat. We're going to take a camel pose. It's a beautiful back bend. So knees are hips width apart. This is a shoulder opener, so quite a strong one. Take the hands into the back or turn up the toes. Bring your hands to the heels, or the full expression of the pose. Lay the feet flat. Bring the hands to the heels. We're using the strength of the pelvis and the back body to move forward over the knees. Open out those shoulders. If you're comfortable in your neck, let your neck fall back. If not, keep it in line with your head and shoulders. Head in line with your shoulders. And really enjoy that stretch down the front body. Okay, excellent. I just want you to sit back onto your heels now. And we're going to come to a headstand. Now, if your headstand isn't in your practice, then you can put your feet up the wall, that's fine, or do a shoulder stand. You can do head in hand headstand, or like me, do a tripod. And you could take it in stages like this, where you're taking your knees to your elbows and then raising them straight. We're doing hips closed, so let's keep the feet together. So usually we quite often do a wide-legged headstand. Let's keep the legs together today. And just focus. If headstand isn't in your practice but you'd like to try it, I have got a tutorial on this channel. Okay, bring the legs back to the knees. And then bring the feet to the floor and then sink back into a child's pose and just come back to your breath. In and out through the nose. Well done. If you want to pause the video and try your headstand slowly, that's very advisable. Don't rush it. It's really not important. It's really important not to rush your headstands. We need to be on the crown of the head during the headstand. It's vitally important that we don't do any damage to the neck. And if you have any issues with the cervical spine, then do feet up the wall pose. Okay, let's take a twist. So bring the right leg over the left knee, raise the left arm high and either take it to the outside of the right knee or to hold on to the knee and gaze over those right shoulders. Half Lord of the Fishes, getting a beautiful twist in the spine from the head to the base. Again, these hips nice and closed. And now we'll take it to cow face pose. So stack the knees over one another. So the right leg is stacked over the left. And if it's in your practice, take the bind. So the left arm comes over the top of your shoulder and the right arm meets it underneath. And then fold forward if that's in your practice. And breathe. If you don't have the bind in your practice, you can take your hands at prayer at the back. Or you can hold on to your elbows at the back, or you can take a strap. Or you don't need to use the arms at all. Just take it to where you can. It's a strong pose in the hips. Okay, let's take that to the other side. So this time we're going to bring the left leg over the right knee. And then raise the right hand and take it to the outside of the left leg, or hold on to the left knee. And gaze over the left shoulders, getting a twist in that spine. Half Lord of the Fishes. Just breathe. As you breathe in, lengthen the spine, and as you breathe out, you can take the twist a little bit more. Okay, we're going to come to cow face pose now. So stack that left leg over the right, so the knees are one over top of each other, and make sure your sitting bones are on the floor. Raise the right arm high, take it over the shoulder, and if you can take the bind, that's great. If you can't, use a strap, put your hands at prayer behind you, or just hold on to the elbows. And then lean forward over the knee, again, only if that is in your practice. If your knees aren't stacking on top of each other and one's raised, that's fine. The important thing is that your bottom is on the floor, both sitting bones. And as you practice this, you will find that you get more release in those hips to let you fold over and do the pose to its expression. Just don't rush it. It's a strong pose in the hips. Okay, then just come onto the back. Just have a little hug of those knees, rock from side to side, find some movement, counteracting that hip stretch, and then rock the legs over to the left, look over the right shoulder, and you know where we go when we get to this point. Close down the eyes now. Head towards the right shoulder glued to the mat, legs gently folded over in this beautiful passive twist. And breathe. And then the other side, take the legs over to the right, look over the left shoulder glued to the mat. Enjoy your twist. Okay, take the legs long down the mat, let the feet fall open, let the hands fall open. Imagine you're melting like liquid into the mat, and close down the eyes and just find a gentle rhythm of breathing in and out through the nose. Shavasana. If ever you want to just stay in your Shavasana for longer, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to finish the practice with me. And then circle the fingers and the toes if you're ready to come up. Rock up to sitting. Bring the hands to your heart. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the divine light within you guide your way on, from my heart to yours. Sat Nam, Namaste, Waheguru. Well, I hope you enjoyed day 20. Didn't find it too taxing, and it's quite different from going from a lot of the more vigorous actions that we do, or the flow, to staying still. Tomorrow is Saturday, so we'll do a nice short punchy Kundalini Kriya to energise you for your weekend. And I know if you're in lockdown like I am, it may feel like, oh, what's the point of being energised? But there's always a point. Every step you take that is in a positive direction for you can potentially change your destination. Jim Quick, limitless. I'll see you tomorrow and have a lovely day, and please stay safe.